For the first time in a while, we do not see white winning, and it was down to the slimmest of margins. So maybe this is Arjun's chance to take what will this be his first lead of the match? I believe it will, if he can win.
If he does, if he can win with the white pieces, you said for the first time in a while, to be exact, a month since the very first game. That was the last time we saw a draw. And then after
Wow.
that, in this very last game, so it's definitely been a while. And Arjun now starts with the white pieces, still keeping the score level. Will he get the lead in this one? It's the Berlin.
Yeah, there's d5,
A
knight
very
e5.
solid
Okay,
approach.
so I mean, I guess we're getting a pretty aggressive set of openings. This is not the first time we've seen a pawn sacrifice right in the opening, Tanya, just to completely open up the position. At this point, you're not even getting the bishop pair, nothing. This is full aggression.
And that is true to Arjun's nature of play, right? He's not a player who wants to have those strategic positional fight. You give him the opportunity to go into chaos, he grabs it with both hands. He sacrificed the pawn not for any immediate kill on the black king, but a long-term play, long-term initiative. Now notice how that knight is going to reroute itself to d4 and eyeing that e6 square once f5 is committed.
Yep. And f5 was a move that was played just to neutralize the position, right? Look at the way all these pieces kind of joining in the attack. The rook on a3 can join the middle of the board to double. It can also be part of this knight e6 idea, but it has rook to h3 and queen h5 written all over it as well.
Arjun thrives in these kind of positions where he's playing for the initiative, where he's sacrificed material to be up on piece activity. You know, we talk about the d4 square. The bishop can land there as well. Bishop e3, bishop d4, rook h3, queen h5. The other rook with rook lift ideas. Meanwhile, Denis has to be very precise with his defense in this one.
Yeah, one idea, maybe as a defensive mechanism that Denis has, is the idea to sacrifice with knight e4. Just stick the knight on e4, say, go ahead and take it, and maybe my bishop will come to f5 after. So wouldn't be surprised to see a bailout option being used.
I like the way Denis has handled his position, He's gotten rid of that knight with his bishop. He's given a bishop pair, but this allows his pieces to get out. The queen on f6, really nicely placed. The rook ready to jump to e8 to liquidate the position further.
Yeah, rook a to e8. B6 can always connect and defend every single pawn on the queen side. If white could play b3, bishop b2, and use the long diagonal with rook g3, we can see how dangerous that is. But Tanya, there's just not enough time for that to happen.
Amazing strategic play here. He's up a pawn and he's consistently trading pieces off. He's trading and neutralizing the pressure on his king. Bishop d4 is the idea. It's stopped by pinning that rook on e1.
Yeah, this makes a lot of sense. You can play bishop d2, but having traded all those pieces, I think black is going to play b6. Also, I'm looking at the move queen to h4, which just looks a little bit annoying.
Is this going to be the moment where black strikes in the match for the first time? I mean, you are up a pawn, and for the most part, it looks like you have thwarted all attack on your king. The king feeling very safe on g8 now.
Yep. Yeah, I think so. This is easily the best game that black has had the entire match. Maybe the last game was until this one was played. G3 is admitting, I'm just worse here. Arjun is down a minute. He's also down a clear pawn, and endgames do not look very appetizing.
Well, endgame, then it's only going to be black who's going to be playing for the win. So for Arjun, he has to try to create his chances as long as queens are on the board. The one thing working in white's favor is that the 3 versus 4 majority on the left flank, it sort of ties down. Not very easy for Denis to create a passer there.
Yep, it's very difficult to move any of the pawns. C6, B5, what you probably want to do is target this pawn, and that's what we're seeing now, the shift. Queen F7, Bishop B7, also
Bishop
ideas
A6.
of Bishop
Bishop
A6
A6,
and Queen
huge
E2.
threat.
Yeah.
Queen E2.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my god, that's actually checkmate. Queen E2, Queen F1.
That's a good point. Yeah, it's not just the invasion, it is game over if it happens. Is that going to force a queen exchange?
Or Queen F3. I think he had only 2 moves.
Interesting. I'm really not sure if queen, like the knight e4 move that the computer with that blue arrow is clearly suggesting, doesn't make a lot of sense to me because it seems to go into opposite bishops.
And that's what discouraged Denis because of the drawing tendency in opposite color bishop, even if you're up a pawn. Instead, Denis going for a very human approach here. Queen f7, hitting on d5. And there was something better that Arjun has, but Arjun sort of sticking true to his style, and it's a blunder. Is there a
Yeah,
knockout
he's
in this
really going
position?
all in here. I don't know. You can always go for that d pawn, right? Because bishop b7. So I wonder, and it's been played, if that's the idea right now, do not open things up. Instead, just take this d pawn. The b pawn will fall. If you trade everything, Tanya, every single queenside pawn is about to disappear.
I think that's exactly what Arjun missed. The sneaky move, bishop b7. The retreating move is often the hardest to find and easiest to miss. d5 still cannot be defended. And now look at that bishop, just how active it is. Arjun still trying to create threats. a5 hanging, but queen h5 in the air.
I have to say, I'm a little bit shocked we didn't see queen takes d5. That endgame looked 100% winning for black, and you could almost force a queen trade with queen d4 afterwards. So I'm a little bit confused why queen takes d5 wasn't played, but bishop takes, hitting this pawn, queen h5, you mentioned, it's on the board.
Activating that queen, and I'm with you. Queen takes pawn looked just so much cleaner and a game where you're completely risk-free. And you know, when you've got 40 seconds on the clock, your opponent 13 seconds, that endgame, well, you could have an hour and you probably don't defend it.
Exactly. Queen d4, c4. So the double pawns have been eliminated. There are two connected pass pawns. You get rid of those queens, Tanya, it's 100% over. The pawns are even all on dark squares with the light squared bishops.
Arjun's playing for tricks. He has to play for tricks right now. He's trying to activate the queen, eyeing that d8 square, stopped by Denis.
And you can take f4 with a check
Now
here.
the f4
I was
pawn.
going to say, yeah, I wonder if that's actually good, but then it is because of queen h6. That's the move.
Wow. And how quickly did Denis spot that? I mean, that is incredible stuff. The black king marches forward on the dark squares.
Yep, this is 100% over. Completely winning for black. You have these two pawns marching down. White has two pawns that are weaknesses, and there are 0 pawns in black's position. And actually, yeah, didn't expect that to pop up so quickly, but that is a win for Denis Lazavik because Arjun resigned knowing he has nothing to do here.
And the very first one with the black pieces, and it's Denis who gets it done, taking the lead again for I don't even know which time in this match. It feels like he's really making Arjun sweat in this one just to even go one game up. Just incredible scenes here. It's 6-5. What a round, what a game that was.